this show is called Trailblazing Women. What does that phrase mean, a female trailblazer?
Well, when they arrived in Hollywood or when they started filmmaking, there was no path to follow. They got out there and created their own path. You know, trailblazing usually means starting out that whole beginning, but more important, it was the whole beginning of the entire movie industry. Women were there at the very beginning.
And that's what's so amazing, is that they were literally trailblazers, and yet somehow they've been edited out of the film history, and that's what's so exciting about tonight. We're going to learn about so many of these female directors.
Exactly. I mean, these women did everything, right? I mean, they ran the home, they took care of their family, they had the children, they made the movies.
Yeah. So tell me about Lois Weber. Again, I'm just learning some of these names, but who was she as a director? I know she was an auteur in a sense. She was an actress, a writer, a producer.
She starts as a pianist. I mean, she's an incredible artist on a whole mess of levels. But what's amazing about Lois Weber, as I've learned to know and love her, is she was a revolutionary posing as the most proper matron. She always was just dressed perfectly, perfect posture, carried herself beautifully, quiet, low-key, little tiny megaphone. You know, everything was feminized, but a backbone of steel. And at the time, when you read the trades of the teens, this woman was heralded as this great auteur, innovator, alongside of D.W. Griffith and then later DeMille. Lois Weber's name is always there in that time.
At that time?
At that time. In 1913, she's making a film which uses 3 split screens, extreme close-ups. She's moving in directions that people have not done before. In 1915, she does a film called Hypocrites, which the reoccurring theme is a naked woman who's dubbed Miss Truth, who keeps reappearing through the movie. And Variety wrote at the time, after seeing Hypocrites, you will never forget the name of Lois Weber.
Wow. Well, that's so poignant, because then,
of course,
obviously, you know, we have. And so, again, you're talking about these technical achievements. When we think of women filmmaking today, you know, the phrase chick flicks and women's stories. And again, this was a time where women were moving the camera, using all sorts of, you know, technical advances. There wasn't any difference between a female director and a male director. Well, people weren't paying that much attention to how the movies were being made. They were paying attention to the movies that got on the screen. It was a cash on the barrelhead business. The job was to get these movies out into the theaters and then go make another one. So the focus is on churning them out, very much so. But Lois Weber, to kind of set her place at this time, I don't like to use the word first very often, because it's so, you can get into arguments about who did this, when and where. But there's no question that Lois Weber was the first elected mayor of Universal City. She was the first member of the Motion Picture Directors Association. She was, 5 years before Mary Pickford, the first woman to own her own studio with her name on it. And somebody like Lois Weber, how many films do you think she made? Oh, over 100. Easily. Hundreds. I mean, Alice Guy made over 1,000. Wow. And so Lois Weber probably made several hundred. And do we know how many now exist? Not very many. And the ones that do exist are not in the best condition. But movies are being found all the time, so hope springs eternal. Okay, well, I'm very excited to watch now from 1921, starring Margaret Wade and Philip Hubbard, with an early appearance by Louis Calhern. Here is Lois Weber's The Blot.